So who could the senior person high up in NatWest be? Who on earth could have briefed the BBC incorrectly, I might add, in an attempt to shut things down, or perhaps quite deliberately, but innocently, pass on this information to the BBC? Unfortunately for Coutts, we are not giving up. Exhausting the complainant, a form of attrition, doesn't work here. In fact, it only serves to make me and those around me, so real journalists, hungry to find out the truth, even more determined. Unfortunately, they picked the wrong person, Nigel Farage. Frankly, though, thank God they did, because no matter what you think of his opinions and political standpoint, he has the right to have a bank account just as much as anybody else does. And in particular, when the bank is owned almost 40% by us, the taxpayers, we bailed out the RBS group, which included Coutts and NatWest. If it wasn't for us, people like Dame Alison Rose wouldn't be able to pick up her eye-watering £5 million salary. For doing what exactly? So who on earth, a senior person within NatWest, could have possibly briefed the BBC with this incorrect information? They can't be that clever, because obviously in leaking it they must have had some insider information. Business editor Simon Jack from the BBC surely should have read ahead. He happened to be sitting next to Dame Alison Rose, the CEO of NatWest. Then the very next day he put out his incorrect tweet, apparently checking the information with the source and getting their permission beforehand to publish it. Did he not think that it looked highly suspect that she, Dame Alison, was in fact his source, and that in receiving the information on Nigel's banking status, the source would have had to have first-hand knowledge? No journalist of any significant calibre would publish such a thing if there was even the smallest modicum of doubt that the source was not credible. But surely Simon would have realised that in revealing private banking information, he was breaching data protection laws. Nigel has not done anything illegal, and besides, the information turned out to be wrong. So, whilst Nigel holds no malice to Simon, which is generous, I'm not sure I'd be that forgiving. Whilst I might have a platform, Nigel's global footprint is huge. Which of us could have brought the bank's behaviour into the spotlight in such a way, resulting in people like Andrew Neil and John Sopel, who aren't Nigel's biggest fans, being openly critical? Thousands in this country have had to deal with brutal banks behaving in this way. It is truly disgusting. But you picked the wrong person this time.
Get to the absolute truth of what happened here. How can it be right? And it doesn't matter whether it's me or anybody else. How can it be right that my banking status and the amount of money I may or may not have in my personal and business accounts are being discussed with the business editor of the BBC and then disseminated to a wider world? How can that be ethical? How can that be legal? How can that be moral? I want to find out the truth, and I'm blooming well going to find out the truth. Since I was last with you, I've now put in a subject access request to NatWest as well, to see what they hold about me and whether the name Dame Alison Rose crops up there. I've also been to the Information Commissioner's office at the end of last week, and they've got real powers of investigation. We will get to the source.
So, Dame Alison Rose, were you the leak? Is it you?